Today I'm joined by Warren Goslett, Global Travel Retail Director at Marussia Beverages. Warren works out of Austria for the Schlumberger Wein-und Sektkellerei Group. We discuss Warren's business journey and he gives us some valuable insights into the travel retail business. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Holger Meyer and this is DrinksWorld. Welcome to the show, and today my guest is Warren Goslett. He's the Global Travel Retail Director at Marussia Beverages. Warren, and you are based in Austria.
That's right, Holger. Yeah, I live near Salzburg, and I've lived here for close on 30 years now.
Wow, okay. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But you're from South Africa.
Yes, yeah, I'm from Durban originally, and then I moved over here when I was 21 in 1989. I did my usual national service thing, and then I used to be a tennis player, and I was offered a tennis coaching job here near Salzburg on a lake. So I came over for that, and it was originally only for 3 months, but I'm still here 30 years later.
Professional tennis player?
No. I just coached for a few years, which was fun, when I was young. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a great country. Obviously miss home as well, so I visit South Africa as often as I can.
And have you met any other South African coaches, tennis coaches over the years?
Yes, sure, yeah. A lot of them. There used to be a South African tennis school there where I started. And actually, there's still South Africans who work there, so I still have contact with the guys. It's always nice. Speak some English and have a braai at the lake every now and then. So I think you actually know the one friend of mine, the one coach Carl
Cossier.
That's right. Yeah.
And my brother-in-law was also in Austria many years ago, and we went to visit him. I can't remember where he was coaching. He's still involved in the tennis business. He runs a tennis school in Hillcrest.
Oh, really? Oh, is that Mark Forwerk?
That's Mark, yes.
Oh, right, yeah. I know Mark, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You know Mark.
Small world, yeah.
So Salzburg, I remember going to Salzburg and visiting the Stiegel Brewery with Mark.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's kind of my link. Every country that I've been to, there must be some brewery that I've visited.
Yeah, they have a great setup there. They have a nice visitor center. Yeah. Really, really nice.
Yeah. And your family in South Africa, they're also involved in tennis?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they import the brand Head, which is an Austrian brand. And I think we sponsor Mark currently.
I think you do. And I think I might have a hand-me-down Head tennis racket in my cupboard.
Yeah, could be.
There's the link.
Yeah. Yes.
So how did you end up in the liquor business from tennis?
I was working for a shoe company, selling health shoes for the health sector, doctors, nurses, and stuff like that. And then I changed. I wanted to change, and it was quite a way away from where I was living. And there was an online job offer, so I applied for that in Salzburg at the Mozart distillery, the chocolate liqueurs, and and I got the job. Went for a couple of interviews, and luckily the guy who would then be my boss had been to South Africa often, and we got on really well, and I got the position. That was 2010, end of 2010.
Okay.
So we were then Suntory, the Japanese drinks company. In 2014, they then bought Beam Global and became Beam Suntory. So yeah, I worked for them. Suntory then sold Mozart to Schlumberger, which is in Wien, the biggest sparkling wine brand in Austria.
Okay.
So yeah, and then my boss and I moved over with that, and Schlumberger is part of the Marussia group. So that's how we ended up in the Marussia group.
Can we talk a little bit about Mozart? Because that is, it's such a heritage brand for me. And And I can remember that way back when this brand was available in South Africa, it was imported by Norbert Schulz, NMK Schulz. This might be before your time, but I certainly remember the brand being in South Africa.
Yeah, that is before my time, yeah.
Okay.
Since then, since I've been around, we haven't had a domestic distributor in South Africa.
Okay.
We have been present in the airports in Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg with Mozart, in the travel retail.
Warren, I've never been exposed to the travel retail part of the liquor business, except when obviously I travel. And I find it fascinating to see how much money is spent in that sector. Can you maybe just give us a brief look behind the scenes, what happens in travel retail, how that works? And I mean, if you have experience in the travel retail business in South Africa, that would also be interesting to see how that compares to Europe and other places where you work.
Yeah, sure, Holger. Travel retail is basically duty free. So it's all the airports, a lot of border stores, South America, Russia, Czech Republic to Germany, Poland. That also falls under travel retail. Then you have the diplomatic stores, military stores, cruise liners, and ferries. It's obviously it's been impacted hugely by COVID, but it's rebounding now since July last year. People are starting to travel more, so sales are up, and it's a very vibrant channel in the drinks business. We can do great marketing activities, and passengers usually had good dwell time, so they spend a lot of time in the stores, get there early for their flight, so they can spend a lot of time looking at products. So almost a window, they call it the seventh continent. So it's a very important part of our business because, especially with Mozart being, the gifty, having the gifty character being wrapped in that foil. People like, when they travel, they like to see unique brands, unique products. It's a strong, vibrant channel. At the moment, as I said, it's been impacted negatively by COVID. South Africa, very similar to the rest of the world, actually.
Okay.
From the marketing activities, also very professional. My biggest customer in Germany is Gebrüder Heinemann.
Yeah.
And I believe they have a joint venture with Big Five in South Africa. So, and they're a great company. Travel retail is basically operators who do tenders for airports. So there are a couple of major big operators who have numerous airports, and then there are also the smaller ones who have just a few airports.
Okay, and because there is no duty involved, I guess the perception is that it should be cheaper, but it doesn't always turn out that way, I think.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I guess the rents and the all those sort of things add up, and it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
But it is important for marketing, so it's more of a showcase. I remember when the craft gin revolution started in South Africa, all the gin guys were contacting the Big Five guys here in South Africa, trying to get their gins into the travel retail part, and it was big discounts and massive markups.
Yeah, it's the same over here as well, Holger. A lot of the gin category exploded. I mean, the amount of facings the gin category was getting, it was really interesting to see, all the different craft gins from the different countries.
Yeah, Warren, tell us a little bit more about Marussia.
Well, Marussia was founded by Dr. Fredrik Paulsen, a Swedish businessman. And we now have 1,300 employees, about 16 production sites, 14 distribution companies. And yeah, we basically global. We have a lot of brands in different categories. We have a Japanese portfolio, Scottish whiskies. We own the oldest vodka distillery in Siberia, the Itku distillery, where we make the Mamont vodka brand. Then we have the Austrian products, the major ones being Mozart and Schlumberger. Germany, we own Kleine Klopfer. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Our owner, Dr. Paulsen, is an explorer, so he visits the poles and he mountaineers. So, he founded the Mamont vodka brand, and then bought the distillery in Itku. And yeah, I think we started in 2004, if I'm correct. I can't remember the exact date. Yeah, 2004. So, and things have been growing very steadily. COVID has accelerated our growth massively. In domestic markets, as I mentioned, the travel retail has taken a knock, obviously.
Yeah.
Hugely in 2020, 2021 was better. This year started well. But in domestic, people staying at home a lot longer, a lot more, having more disposable income. So they haven't been able to travel, haven't been able to eat out.
Okay.
So they have more disposable income to spend. So where they would buy one product normally, to save money, now they're spending a bit more.
Okay.
That's the feeling. That's the feeling we're getting.
Yeah.
So premium brands like ours, the growth has been massive. It's actually difficult on our production capacities to handle the demand.
That's interesting.
But it's but it's pretty much the same globally. I think a lot of the big groups are also experiencing that. That their more premium brands are exploding. So yeah, it's a nice problem to have.
Have you guys still got ambitions to get your brands into South Africa? Are there any brands that would fit this market?
Yes, Holger. I'm looking at the moment at our Japanese portfolio.
Yeah.
Particularly our Japanese whiskies. We own a whiskey distillery in Japan, and I'm busy in talks with the company right now. So we'll see how that goes. On the other products, Mozart, I've tried. It's just difficult because you have a higher your regulations on alcohol content are higher, if I remember correctly. I think they're 24%. And ours are 17.
Okay.
So we would have to make the bottle size is no problem. I think you have 750. We make 750 for certain markets like the US. So the bottle wouldn't be a problem, but the liquid, to create a whole new liquid is difficult. We always open to opportunities in South Africa. It's a big market. So, and me being South African, I've always pushed pretty hard. But until now, we haven't really been lucky domestically.
Warren, thank you very much for all that information, and it sounds like a really interesting job for us. It sounds very far away, but
yeah,
I guess Austria is kind of in the middle of Europe and where the whole traveling is happening. Thanks for sharing that information with us.
Sure, Holger.
And if somebody is interested in looking at your website, it's all on that MarussiaBeverages.com website. They'll find everything there.
That's right, yeah. Okay. Yeah, they'll see all of our products. And thanks for your time as well, Holger. Nice to catch up.
Thanks, Warren. Thank you for listening to our stories here online. In the show notes, you will also find a link where you can subscribe to become part of our community and be notified when we upload our latest content.